Hey guys. Everybody.
That's great, though.
How are you? It's like Plinko. All right. So as far as injuries go, Isaiah Irving had a quad, so we'll keep an eye on that, see how that goes with him, but nothing else injury-wise. After watching the game, all three phases, you come away with, okay, what are some of the improvements for us? And big picture for the offense, part of the tale of two halves. The offense is stating the obvious is the red zone, but more so it's goal to go. That was the deal there. 1 for 4, goal to go, and then we lost the turnover battle. So we were part of an interception and a fumble. That's where we can improve as an offense. Where we can improve as a defense is, I thought that the drive, we had the big play we gave up in the first half led to a touchdown. And then there was the drive in the third quarter there, that 14-play drive where they went down there. We did bend but didn't break. They got a field goal there. So just that length of drive there, and we had, like I said, the big play. But other than that, our defense really, I thought, played really well. Special teams, stating the obvious, was missing the 2 field goals. We had 3 field goals made, but obviously missing both of those hurt us. Those are where we can get better. As far as what I thought we did well offensively, you look at this thing, and we had 26 first downs. Offensively, we moved the ball, the time of possession, all the stuff that you all see. You have that. That part was exciting for us. That's a good thing for us. I was proud of the offensive linemen. I was proud of our running backs, that they really stepped up to the challenge and did a great job. We moved the ball when we had to, and then of course I really loved that first drive of the third quarter, being able to just take that down the field, and they kind of knew we were running, and by the personnel we were in and what we were doing, and then finishing it off with a run was good. I mentioned the time we had 1 3 and out. That's been an issue for us. There are the 3 and outs to start the game. We had a 4 and out with a penalty. The other thing was explosives. So we had 6 explosives that I really thought was good. And then drives. We have 4 drives over 11 plays and 1 drive for 9 plays. So when you lose, all that stuff gets lost, and it should. It should, because that's what's most important is winning and losing. But for us to grow internally and for us to be able to stick together and see really where we got as an offense, I thought that was definitely a stepping stone for us. Defensively, 10 possessions. They had 1 drive that was over 4 plays. So a bunch of 3 and outs. They had that 14-play drive. And then the other sudden change I thought was good. After that interception, we held them to a missed field goal. So that part was good. I already mentioned the special teams. We made those 3 field goals. So kind of big picture for you guys, just where I'm at after watching everything team-wise. That's what I saw.
With the inside the 10 struggles, the goal-to-goal struggles.
Yeah.
You said yesterday that there was going to be some that you'd go back and look at, and they might know you. Are there a handful of those plays that you can identify that you look and say, man, that one was there for us? Yeah,
there were a few. I know, particular for me, the one that I'm kicking myself that I don't think was a good play call was the 2nd and goal at the 1 right before the clock hit. I'm good with the run. I don't like the run I called. So that's the one. After every game, I go back and I say to myself, if I'm in this game, right, and I'm a player, where are the plays in the game that schematically it wasn't really there, and it didn't fit. And there was a couple of those in the game that I felt situationally, some 3rd and long type plays. But the one that I'm angry about, upset with myself about, is that 2nd and 1. Again, I like the run call. I didn't like my play after I go back and look at it.
With the run call there, you're obviously susceptible to the clock running if you don't get in.
Yeah.
And they piled on you a little bit.
Yes.
Why not throw it and just have that safety net of the clock stopping on an incomplete?
Yeah, we did a lot of that. We had 12 plays inside for the goal to go. We had 12 plays yesterday in 4 drives, and we were 6 runs, 6 passes. So we were pretty balanced. we had other plays where we were throwing the ball. We weren't having success throwing it down there either. So whether it's running or passing, I wish, like I said, I wanted to run it there. I was okay with the time. We knew that we were going to clock it. I told you yesterday, we already had that planned. But the play call is the one that I wish I would have changed and called a different run there. But go ahead.
Sorry, Matt. Was part of that in the third quarter, in terms of the different run call, that you went I formation and punched it right in?
Yeah, that was that I felt. I mean, I felt good about that play, and I wish. Hey, that's something that I look back and say to myself, man, I wish I would have went to that play call instead, and I didn't.
To go back to that, just to go back to that for a second then. If you're okay with the run there and you know you're going to clock it, are you just giving up a play? Aren't you giving up a play right there? Because you're going to say third down, I know I'm just spiking it. If you throw on second, you could throw again on third. You give
Yeah, that's a very valid point, without a doubt. But we just felt like at that point in time, with where we were, with the plays that we had and some of the plays we had already used, we felt like that was, something that we wanted to go with. So yeah, that's a valid point.
Matt, you talked about not being great throwing in the goal to go situation. The slant to A-Rod that Mitch left a little behind him, does that need to be in a different spot, or what did he see? It looked like the linebacker kind of fell back there.
I slow-moed it this morning, and I'm almost certain, I'm 99% sure that ball got tipped. Yeah, so, it's tight. Everything in the red zone, that's one of the sayings we have. Everything's tighter in the red zone. Things happen faster, lanes are tighter. So that's one of those ones, sometimes it's a bang catch, and you get it, and he gets hit, A-Rob gets hit hard. He kind of, it almost, maybe not intentionally, but he kind of protected him a little bit from the safety. We know you're going to get hit, but that ball did get tipped a little.
And then on the next play, you called the draw. What did you guys?
That's a scheme play that for tendencies that they showed with what they do on 3rd and goal from the 9. So that's one of the hardest play calls in football is 3rd and goal from the 9 to the 15. That's hard because they just all sit back and they blanket and they zone you out, and there's you just, that's a tough call. So we had that schemed, and we liked what we saw. It didn't work for us.
On the possession, you guys had a play where A-Rod draws the DPI, and
Yeah.
he's the only eligible receiver to cross the line of scrimmage. It's not something you see very often.
Yeah.
Curious what you like about that design.
Yeah, that's been in our playbook for a while. It was in last year as well, and it's a one-on-one throw. Sometimes you get those, right? You just space it out. You get a one-on-one throw where you feel like your player's better than theirs, and it ended up working for us. Got us a free first down.
You got the one-on-one matchup with Shaheen on the other side later, where that one did get tipped.
Yeah.
What do you like about a slant instead of maybe a fade?
Right. No, it's a good question. Good question.
Matt, on that play, is that an option?
It's a possibility.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a possibility.
Yeah, going back to the field goal at the end, sorry to belabor it, but I was just curious why you were so worried about a fumble in that situation, because if you look back historically anyway, in the last 5 years in similar situations, there have been like 48 rushes and 0 fumbles.
Mm-hmm.
So it just doesn't seem like analytically like that was that big of a risk of kind of a worst case scenario.
Yeah, I'm with you. No, I understand it. Did you happen to watch a Colts game yesterday?
No.
Go back and check it out. A little difference. It's really the same but different. They're 10 yards further back. It's crazy how life works. It's crazy when teams do what they do in certain situations. And one of the things I left out yesterday was just not other than the fumble, but and I could be dead wrong on this, but check out the stat if there's any holds when you call a run play and see what happens there if there's a hold. So there's other things that can happen in that point in time, right? And so it's wild because you go back and you see these scenarios, and I mean, I said it to you guys at post game, and it's crazy because you say to yourself, well, man, zero reflection on saying I wish I would have done something there. I would do it again 1,000 times.
Which is more the approach of, I mean, you're an aggressive coach. You're here because you have a really aggressive mentality and put pressure on the defense.
Yeah.
It just seems odd that in that kind of.
So do me a favor. Yeah, do me a favor and go back and watch that Colts game against Denver. Watch Vic and what he played. Tell me the coverage that he played, and tell me what happened on 1st, 2nd, and 3rd down in that game before they kicked the game-winning field goal. Watch that and tell me tomorrow.
Hey, Matt, I know I kind of asked you about this yesterday, but great drive you had in the 3rd quarter. A lot of I formation. Probably one of your best drives of the season. When you came back in the 4th, it was back to heavy shotgun, a lot of passing.
Yep.
and I know you talk about having to make adjustments because the defense adjusts, and certainly understand that. What's the fine line though between waiting too long to adjust and adjusting too early? Does that make sense?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. It's for us, you end up going out there and you're in the I formation, and you know it's a big deal about our run game. So everyone knows that, and there's stuff in there that we have that's not always run, you know. So you got to have that balance as coaches. But for us, these coaches in this league are pretty good, and they can scheme pretty well. So they make adjustments. And when you start getting too predictable with what you're doing, and you see that because they made adjustments to what you're doing. You saw one really in the middle of that drive. There's some adjustments they made. So you got to change it up a little bit. I don't think that's necessarily fair to your players that you just keep showing up. Now, we did that. I mean, that drive, we stayed in that formation pretty good amount of time. But they make adjustments after the touchdown. They go to the sideline, they look at everything we look at, and they say, okay, next time they get in this is what we're going to do. And then we test them and we see it, and then we're able to decide whether or not we want to keep doing that or do something else. It's just part of the adjustments that we make as well.
So when they did they make those adjustments, and were you still fine with what you came out and ran on those two possessions where you turned it over?
Was I fine with what?
Yeah, I mean, did the defense make those adjustments that you were looking?
Yeah, there were some adjustments that they made, and we knew that. So we have other stuff that we got to, and then that's where we get into that part of the game. It's 16-10 with 14 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, and we have the ball, 2nd and 8, I think, and when the interception occurred. And so I think that's a great learning tool for Mitch and for us as for everybody to learn from, right? That you scheme a play and you think you might get a coverage, and you get the coverage, but the guy he's a good corner. He's a Pro Bowl corner, and he's a savvy vet. So when he falls off on that, right? I think that's going to be one that Mitch and I will talk about and say, hey, that's one. Just dump it down and just take what it's 16-10. You dump it down, and we live to see another down. And he understands that, and he's learning through this deal. He's completely learning in this. And then, fortunately, you click the tape on and you watch the next series, and that scoreboard shows the same score. It's 16-10. Now there's 9:51 to go. Okay, and then that's when we had that next drive where we ended up fumbling the football, and then they went down and scored.
Right before the fumble, he overthrew. Miller was matched up on Thomas Davis. What was kind of your diagnosis of that play?
Yeah, that's one that we knew all week that we were going to get. We knew that, and Mitch knew that, and it's just we had it and we didn't hit it. So those are the type of plays, man. It's 16-10. You hit that touchdown. After the way our defense is playing, you hit that. It's close to being the dagger, and we didn't hit it, and so. But now that's okay. There's a lot of that quarterback we played yesterday. He's been playing in this league for a long time. Phillip Rivers, long time. I've seen him do a lot of good things. Okay, and our defense did pretty good yesterday. So you miss throws at times. How do you respond to that? Well, unfortunately for us. The next play, then we ended up having a fumble, and on that play, things happen. He got hit by our own guy, but we'd like to get the ball out. Earlier.
Man, I'm curious how many.
Stay with the I formation.
Yeah.
What did you like about the way the guys executed that, and what are your takeaways from why that's generally in that?
Just they were changing the line of scrimmage, so things weren't happening in the back end. There was no penetration. Things were happening on even a yard on the other side. And you guys saw yesterday how David runs. He runs the ball hard. I don't know how many broken tackles he had yesterday. It started with the first play of the game. It started with the very first play. He broke two good tackles. He spun, and everyone felt it. And I like that. I really do. So, who knows? Maybe we come out running like wing T or something next week, and we win.
You are from Delaware. With Coward, he has a couple mistakes yesterday. How do you balance the fact that you need that position to be good with the fact that he's really never done this before?
Sure, that's valid. He's a guy that was playing on the defensive line practice squad 2 years ago, and here he is as a starter at right guard going against some good players. So we have to be able to accept that. We don't want that, and especially what I think what's starting to happen is you're seeing that first drive for us. For whatever reason, we're getting some penalties in that first drive, so they're kind of drive stallers, you know? So he had that second one, and then I thought he did a pretty good job on the other call. I thought he was well coached on that.
Two more guys. One of the things I've been listening about the offense as
Yeah.
positives, I'm getting the impression you think this is on the brink.
Yeah,
You're that close to this opening up for you guys?
I do. I feel that way, and so that's what, because we got the thing that we were so close to getting that win, regardless of what goes on, regardless of how you won or how you lose. You win yesterday, you get that win, and the stuff we're talking about is a lot easier to talk about. I think we're talking a lot more about the growth of the offense and less about what to do on that other play at the end of the game. I don't think but that became a big deal because we lost the game. You know, and again, going back to that, this is just so you guys understand from my side, because it's got to be fair, right? You're going to ask me these questions, so I'm going to be fair to you. So, Mark, I run the ball yesterday on that down and distance, okay? And we fumble the ball, and they recover it. What question are you asking me?
I'm not asking you why didn't you kneel.
Okay.
At that point, if you're at the 15, then I ask you why
Fair.
didn't you kneel.
Fair, just
40, for the 40-yard field goal, that's just not the same thing to me.
you're entitled to your opinion. Now, say this. It goes back to that Indy game today when you watch that, okay? So you understand what Frank Reich did, I'm agreeing with his calls. If I was at the 34-yard line where he was at on 3rd down and 9 from the 34, I would run the ball there too. I would not QB kneel it. But after the 11-yard scramble, when he scrambled down to the 20, right, or the 21, we were already in field goal range at the 34. So 11-yard run, to me, we're there. We're there. Okay? So that's all I'm saying when I say this. Just be fair there.
So Matt, a different question on that.
Sure.
Are you at all concerned that it sends a message to your guys that you're not trusting them to make
No.
plays, that you're more concerned about
No,
something go wrong?
No, it's not about concern about anything can go wrong. That's not what this is. It's not about trust. It's about playing smart. It's a 40-yard field goal. Think about that, okay? That takes nothing away from Pinero. We love Eddie. We got all the faith in the world in him. We know he's going to bounce back. Ask anybody on the team. It's the NFL. It happens. How do you respond to it, right? How do you respond to it? So I really, it's to me, I'm very, very comfortable knowing what I did. I'm very, very comfortable knowing if I'm in that exact situation again, okay, at that same yard line, I'm going to do the same thing. You got me? If it's further back, I might do something different. I'm not going to tell you now because if we get in that situation, I'm telling everybody what I'm doing.
What gives you the confidence that Eddie's going
It's
to?
all right. Let him go. I'm good.
Eddie misses 2 makeable kicks yesterday in pretty calm conditions.
Yeah.
What gives you the confidence that he's going to bounce back?
Because I know who he is as a person. And we've seen it in practice, and we've already seen him nail a 53-game winner in Denver. You know, his longest kick in Soldier Field was 46. So that's where, again, if you're further back, right, going back to this deal, if you're further back, you can try to get the odds to go up a lot and not kick a 54, 55, 52. You can throw the ball or try to do something different. But where we were, we felt very comfortable with where we were.
Remember the 55-yard run, what did you see in that you say is repeatable and you show your guys?
Well, it was you take 11 people and you said that's the one right there that you put on clinic tape. So this off season when we show that, you'll see that's those, to me, that's powerful in the fact that you see what happens here. When you do this exactly the way it's supposed to be done and everybody is spot on and you do your job and you win your one-on-one battle, that's the stuff that happens. That's an explosive play, you know? And that's a beautiful thing. It's a great vibe. I love that about that. And so you put that tape on from behind and you watch the linemen and the way their angles are and how fast and under control Cody Whitehair comes around and how he stays inside out and how we take the handoff and he keeps it inside A-gap integrity, right? And we're getting up to the second level. Eyes are up. Guys are doing different things. It's magic when you do it and you execute. I love it, you know? I want more of that.
And Matt, just overall with Mitch.
Yeah.
Did you see enough to keep going with
Yeah.
him?
Yeah, again, there's this thing right here with Mitch is he's at a point right now where yesterday, matter of fact, I got it on my index cards right here. There's a bunch of yellow on here, okay? There's a lot of really good throws in yellow that he made, okay? I'll just throw one out that's a special throw, 2nd and 18 to Trey Burton, across the middle. That's a tough throw. And there's several more on here that are really good throws. But that's a special throw right there. Now, there's others within the game that he can get better at. There's one that he truly missed, and that's the one you all are talking about, the one to Taylor Gabriel. He truly missed that one. He knew it right away. We all knew it. It's not in. We'll talk about it, and we'll try to hit it next time.
You mentioned, like, last week, you have faith in him.
Yeah.
At some point, time runs out, right?
Yeah.
Time is of the essence here. I mean, 3-4 right now.
For sure.
You know what the Packers have done, the Vikings are done. Is there still time left in this season to get him playing the way that you need him to play?
Yes, there is, and we understand that this is as a unit right now. We didn't get the win, but we felt like there was definitely an improvement. So we're gonna make sure that we just keep our nose to the grind. We stay positive. We stay really positive because that's who we are. And the only thing we can focus on at 3-4 right now is Philadelphia.
Do you think that Mitch's development needs a little additional leeway because of his lack of experience in college?
There's some definite, what's the word? Yes, I would say, yeah, that's fair. I mean, you're talking about a kid that he wants it really, really bad. He really, truly cares. And I told you on how I am and what I've learned on how you need to be with quarterbacks. And but at the same time, there's also an accountability. There's that balance of when is it time and when do you want to start seeing, that type of stuff. And I think we're getting close to that. And he knows that. When I say that, meaning like when there's opportunities to be made, we want to make those, and he wants to make them, but we just got to do it. And but it's the world we live in right now, and people want it now. So that's what it is. What it is.
Not
Not
with
with
the
talk a lot
with the-
about this offense and how it's challenging for quarterbacks. There's almost like a timeline.
Yeah,
whether it's Alex
yeah.
Smith or Patrick or whomever you've coached. Why is it so difficult for quarterbacks to learn this offense?
Well, there's a lot of different concepts within it. So the concepts and adjustments within the concepts. So whether it's based off of coverages or whether it's based off of personnels and different things, but it does take a little bit of time for these guys. And you look at some of these players that, for instance, Coach Reed has had back in Philadelphia with Donovan McNabb and the other guys that he's had, and it's some have had instant success. Some have, they've come in for whatever reason and done well, and others it's taken a little bit of time. Alex Smith in Kansas City was a guy. Here's a guy that went from being a number one pick in a draft, bunch of different coordinators, had a city that was ready for change. So he came to us, and that was awesome because we got a guy that had experience. And so the biggest thing is I just think that he did have his advantage. Alex's was that he was in a bunch of different offenses, so he had a lot more experience and time. Mitch is what? He's in his third 2.5 years, and so in one offense is completely different than the first year he was here. So you can't really compare that. And then you take his college experience, high school experience, et cetera, and then it can be challenging. But that's what everybody we know where we're at, and we want it for him. He wants it for us, and but it's who we are right now. It's where we're at, and we're gonna stay positive.
Matt, did you ever think over the summer you would have called a game like you did yesterday?
With all the I formation?
Did you even have that many I formation plays?
No. Yeah, I did not. But hey, if we have to do different things, you obviously know I'm open to that, and I have a lot of faith and trust in our coaches and in our players. And we're truly tested right now. We've been through a lot in the last couple of weeks. This is what we signed up for. So we're going to see what we're made of here, and we're regardless going to stick together. But offensively, we trying to find that identity, a mixture of some different things, and I just like the way that our balance was yesterday. I thought it was good.
The trade deadline's tomorrow. Do you anticipate any change? Do you think your team needs?
I don't. No, I don't. But the second I leave right here, I'm getting ready to do one more thing, and then I'm going right to Philadelphia. So I'm not even getting into that. I'll let that up to Ryan and them, and they can tell me what my ideas or thoughts are, and I'll chime in. But I'm not dealing with that too much.
Just wonder the balance yesterday. What was your sense for the momentum that you had as a play caller and the ability to maybe call some plays off of plays?
Yeah, it was good. I felt better yesterday. So that part's, because I want to make sure that we're all in this thing together, meaning that we're feeling the same. I want when a play comes in, I want everybody to know why it's coming in. And so, we were able to do that. I mean, there was a lot of runs from that I formation, but we also had a couple passes too. So we'll see what we end up doing against Doug Peterson and his boys.
Along those lines, I have you at 8.6 yards per play out of the I formation. Are you at all, I don't want to say struggling, but just philosophy-wise, are you juggling the idea that your players might actually be better at running stuff that isn't necessarily a huge staple of your offense?
No, I'm not concerned because I feel like because that's in the West Coast offense. There is back in the day that used to be 3 yards in a cloud of dust, and so it sounds like 8 yards in a cloud of dust now. So I like that. Whatever works, I'm down with. I don't know if we'll do more of it or less of it. We'll have to just wait and see.
Matt, Anthony contributed to the explosives yesterday. What have you seen over the last few weeks as his growth?
Anthony Miller?
Yes.
Yeah, just details way better. Gets a chance to make plays. He plays fast. He's explosive. I love his energy. I think he brings it every play. You saw what happened in Oakland. We don't want that. That's too much. That's reckless. But we want to pull it back and play with fire. So I'm all about guys that play with fire.
Seen strides in October
Yes.
versus September.
For sure.
Matt,
Sure.
you talked last week about Mitch being a passer first and then a runner. At the end, when he does scramble there, is he more likely to kind of trust his instincts there when you guys really got to go than in, sometime in the second quarter when the clock's not moving and
It could be situationally. I mean, I'll tell you, yesterday, heck of a job by him in that situation. He almost got sacked twice. So he tripped over our own guy, our tackle, and then he spun out of that, backdoored it, and then Ingram almost got him with the swipe. So that would have been tough. There's another scenario where you throw a pass, you get sacked, and now it's a 62-yard field goal from there. So, but he made a hell of a play, and then he used his legs in a crucial time. He made plays, and you're seeing a trend with that. When the times matter, he's stepping up in those moments at the end of the game, and everything that we want to look at, everything else. But really, one thing that's common thread is that.
Matt, you talk about peaks and valleys of the season, but this is probably a pretty unprecedented valley for you as a head coach. How does the sort of unfamiliarity of that compare to what you expected or saw in Kansas City with Reed or whoever it was?
Well, for me, it was a different role, so I wasn't the guy that was up here every day, talking about it like Coach Reed was, but it certainly helped me just because you really know, you find out who's real and who's not real. That's what I love about this. And so for me, I'm a pretty, I can handle things myself, so it doesn't, I got that, I have that in me. So I kind of enjoy it. No, I don't want to lose, but it's like, hey, let's go. You're going to be at a point now. You're going to test us. So let's roll. Let's stick together. Let's freaking go. Good. Someone's timing out here. You